Today I am going to discuss about the legislative procedure. First of all, before starting the legislative procedure, you should be knowing about different types of bills. Number one, ordinary bill. Number two, money bill. And the third one is financial bill. And the fourth one is constitution amendment bill. What is this ordinary bill? Ordinary bill. Ordinary bill is nothing but those issues which does not involve money matters. Something like your women reservation bill, or else something like your Aadhaar was not considered as ordinary bill, or else Atmanirbhar, something like that. So ordinary bills are nothing but which does not involve any type of financial matters or money matters. What is a money bill? See, there is a slight difference between a money bill and a financial bill. There is one more subclassification, that is financial bill and financial too, that will be discussed in the later part. But what is the difference between money bill and finance bill? Second one is money bill. Money bill is nothing but which deals with monetary matters or money matters. Something like imposition of a new tax, abolition of tax, or increase of a tax, or else you are going to decrease the taxation, or else the central government is going to borrow from international organizations, or else the central government is borrowing from domestic market. All these issues involve money matters, so we can consider it as a money bill. What is a financial bill? What is the difference between a money bill and a financial bill? See, let me give one small clarity about this, and that clarity is more than sufficient for you people. See, you people have gone through many budgets. Like once the budget is announced in the floor of the house, that is in Lok Sabha, the finance minister will announce different stops. Like in automobile sector, GST will be increased from 8% to 12%. Just she announced it in the floor of the house, that will not be implemented. So now after announcing that in the floor of the house, that is in Lok Sabha, that from 8% taxation, the taxation will be increased to 12%. That should be implemented. So what you should do, let me give an example. There will be a law called as, or there is an act called as Automobile Parts and Automobile Services Act. I am just giving an example to you people. This act should be amended. Why? Because until now in this particular act, GST was 8%. Now GST has been increased to 12%, or else suddenly there will be an announcement that there is increase of taxation from 10% to 15% in electronic goods. Electronic goods like your laptops, your computers, or your mobiles, or any other electronic items. So once again, an act which is related to these electronic goods should be amended. So what is the difference between a money bill and a financial bill is, money bill also deals with financial matters, but financial bill is passed or else it is enacted to implement the announcements which is made in the budget. So in the month of February, the budget will be presented in the floor of the house. Within 75 days from the date of presenting the budget, a bill will be passed to give or else to enact all those announcements which has been made in the budget, and such bills are called as financial bill. And the fourth one is constitution amendment bill. What is this constitution amendment bill? Once again, some students who are from technical background will not be aware of the word amendment. Amendment is nothing but, let me keep it very simple, either if you add a word, if you add a sentence, if you add a para, or else if you add a chapter, or else if you delete a word, or else if you delete a sentence, or else if you delete a para, or else if you delete a particular chapter, we call it as amendment. It means whenever they introduce changes to the constitution, such bills are called as constitution amendment bill. See, today I am going to discuss about the legislative process involved in ordinary bill. Legislative process involved in ordinary bill. So what do you mean by ordinary bill? Those bills which does not consists of money matters is called as ordinary bill. So what is the procedure of ordinary bill? Every ordinary bill will pass through 5 stages in the parliament. It will pass through 5 stages in the parliament. An ordinary bill can be introduced either in Lok Sabha or else either in Rajya Sabha. There is no restrictions that it should be introduced only in Lok Sabha or else it should be introduced only in Rajya Sabha. An ordinary bill can be introduced either in Lok Sabha or else even in Rajya Sabha. That's not an issue. So what are these stages? So imagine a bill is introduced in Lok Sabha. Introduction is itself called as first reading. You call it as first reading. Let me assume like this. A bill is introduced by Home Minister, Honorable Home Minister in Lok Sabha. Let me assume like this, or else he is introducing the bill in Rajya Sabha. Before introducing the bill, the Honorable Home Minister should take the leave of the House, and before introducing such bills, 7 days prior notice will be given by a minister. After giving 7 days prior notice and then introducing the bill, what you will do is, you will take the leave of the House, means you will take the permission of the presiding officer of the House, and then you will read the short title and objectives of a particular bill. Let me assume like this. Recently, they brought an amendment, or else they abrogated article number 370, which gave special status to Jammu and Kashmir. Now, what they will do while introducing such bills, the short title of a particular bill and the objectives of the particular bill will be read in the House, or else women reservation in Lok Sabha. What you will do here, you will come to Lok Sabha, then you will read the bill, the short title of that, and then the objectives of the bill. Or else, one more thing is there, if the bill is already published in the official gazette of Government of India, if it is already published in official gazette of Government of India, it's not necessary to introduce a particular bill in Lok Sabha. That means the publication of a particular bill in official gazette is itself considered as first reading. So let me give clarity about this. First and foremost thing is, what you should do, you should go to the, or else it will be introduced in either Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha, and the person who is introducing, or else the minister who is introducing the bill will take the leave of the House. Before this, before 1 week notice should be given, and then after introducing the bill, you will read the short title and objectives of the bill, and in this stage, discussion will not take place with respect to the bill. Discussion will be done in the later stages of the particular bill. Or else, if the bill is already published in the official gazette of central government, that itself is considered as first reading. Now you may be wondering, why it is like that? See, let me say one thing. The members of parliament are elected by the people either directly or indirectly. The members of Lok Sabha are elected by the people directly once in 5 years, and the members of Rajya Sabha are elected by the people indirectly. Means we elect our state legislative assembly members, and in turn the state legislative assembly members will elect the members of Rajya Sabha. So that means both Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha consists of representatives of the people. So the minister, who is a part of an executive, will come to the parliament and then is presenting the bill in front of people's representatives. That is, they are presenting the bill. The minister is presenting the bill in front of the representatives of the people. Indirectly, is presenting the bill in front of the people itself. Or else, why, if it is officially published in the gazette, it can be considered as first reading. Once it is officially published in the gazette, it will be open for the public, and every individual can view what are the contents of the particular bill. So that itself is considered as first reading. So this is the first stage of a particular bill. Second stage is called as second reading. See, in this second stage, there are different options available to the minister, or else there are different options available to the parliament. What are the different options available to the parliament? What they can do here? The first thing is the bill may be referred for public opinion. The bill may be referred for public opinion. What is this public opinion? Let me give an example. Imagine a bill is introduced in Lok Sabha or else in Rajya Sabha. Once the bill is introduced, it's presented in the parliament, then the draft of the bill will be sent to some important organizations like Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce, or else Chartered Accountant Association, or else Company Secretariat Associations, or else Bar Council of India, different bar councils of state level, or else some NGOs which are involved in these type of activities. So what they are doing here, the bill is given or is distributed to these public organizations, wherein discussion will be taken by the experts, and even all segments of the country, all segments of the society will have a discussion on this particular issue. This is one option available to the parliament. They can send the bill for public opinion. This is first option. What is the second option? The bill may be referred to a select committee. Let me say one thing. There are different committees in the parliament. Imagine a bill is introduced which is related to rural development. Imagine a bill is introduced and that bill is related to rural development. Now, the draft of this bill will be sent to a particular committee which deals with rural development. Or else, imagine a bill is introduced which is related to rural employment program. Now, the same bill will be referred to a particular committee which deals with rural employment things. Or else, imagine they are coming with a new law which deals with coal sector in India. Now, that particular bill will be sent to that particular select committee which deals with only energy, that is coal, petroleum, or all those things. So, the second option available to the parliament is they may refer the bill to a select committee. Option number 3. The bill may be referred to joint committee of the house. Joint committee in the sense, the members in this joint committee shall consist of both the houses. There shall be members from Lok Sabha and even from Rajya Sabha. So this committee can be called as joint committee. And the third option available to the parliament is send this bill to or refer this bill to joint committee. And the fourth option available to a bill or for the parliament is take this to consideration stage. What is this consideration stage? What is this consideration stage? In this consideration stage, everything will be discussed. Let me discuss about the usual practice which is followed in Indian parliamentary procedure. Normally, whenever a bill is introduced, the bill will be referred to the select committee. This is the normal procedure. Now, what will happen? Once the bill is referred to the select committee, the committee will go into the detail of that particular bill. So, you may have seen some questions related to this thing. In the sense, how parliamentary committees have reduced the burden of the parliament, or else how parliamentary committees has increased the effectiveness of parliament. These type of questions, this point is very, very important to you people. Now, what the committee will do here? The select committee, once it receives the bill, it will go through each and every clause of that particular bill. After going through this, each and every clause of this particular bill, let me give one more information to you people. It has even powers to amend this particular bill, but that doesn't mean these amendments should be accepted by the parliament. And it can even amend the bill after giving its suggestions, or it will give its own suggestions regarding this particular bill, what should be done, what should not be done, what should be deleted, what should be added, all those things will be referred, and finally the bill, after complete scrutiny of the committee, it will be sent back to the parliament. This is the normal procedure. After the committee goes through this particular bill and then this bill is referred back to the parliament, now the parliament may take up to the consideration stage. Let me give clarity here. Once the bill is introduced in parliament, then the parliament has four different options in front of that. The first option is it may send the bill to select public opinion. Second option is it may send the bill, refer the bill to select committee. Third option is it may refer the bill to joint committee, and the fourth option is it may take up to consideration stage. And now I am discussing about the normal procedure which takes place in the parliament. Normally, whenever a bill is introduced in the parliament, after its introduction, the bill will be sent to the select committee, and the select committee will go through each and every clause, and then even the select committee has a right to make amendments also. It can make amendments, but these amendments may not be accepted by the parliament in consideration stage. After the bill is referred back to the parliament, now consideration stage will start. What is this consideration stage? Once the bill is received by the parliament, received back by the parliament, each and every clause is discussed separately in the parliament. Each and every clause, what will happen here? Each and every clause will be discussed in the parliament, and each and every clause will be voted separately in the parliament. So what they will do, for example, section number 1, clause number 2. So section number 1, clause number 2, they may have a discussion about this, and then after having discussion about that, they may vote separately. So in the second reading stage, what will happen is, so every clause of the bill will be discussed separately and every clause of the bill will be voted separately. And in this stage, amendments can be moved by the members. Amendments. Let me give an example. Imagine the bill is in the second stage in Lok Sabha. Here we have opposition members to the left side of the speaker, and to the right side of the speaker there is ruling party members. Now opposition party, or else the member from opposition party, is seeking an amendment. For example, section 10 clause 1 requires an amendment. Now the amendment will be proposed by the member who belongs to opposition party. Now there will be a discussion about this particular amendment. What are the pros, what are the cons, what are the advantages, what are the disadvantages, how it may be against public interest. Each and every aspect will be discussed here. Finally, it will be voted in the parliament. Definitely, that is clause number 10, section number 10, clause 2 shall be, means if it is accepted by the majority members, then the amendment will be accepted. If it is not accepted, then the amendments will not be accepted. So whatever amendments can be done, that can be done only in the second stage, that is second reading of the ordinary, second reading stage. And the third stage is third reading. What is this third reading? At this stage, the debate is confined only to acceptance or rejection of this particular bill. Let me give clarity about this. At this stage, amendments will not be accepted, or amendments shall not be processed. It means it will not at all be accepted. Here, it's related only, means it's only confined to either acceptance of the bill or else rejection of the bill. But here, apart from studying from Lakshmikant, which people normally refer, let me say very important information. According to original constitution, it has been mentioned, as I have gone through the draft of the constitution, original draft of the constitution which is available in the internet, I am saying you there is one exclusive or exceptional clause in that particular thing which is not mentioned in the books. Let me give clarity about this. If the presiding officer thinks so, an amendment should be accepted even at the third reading stage. If the presiding officer thinks so, that even an amendment should be accepted in the third reading stage, it shall be done and his decision shall be final. It shall not be questioned. This is only exceptional clause. It is used only in exceptional situations. Why this particular clause? I was wondering why this particular clause has been inserted in the constitution. See, we are all human beings. We make mistakes. Even after having a prolonged discussion about this particular bill, just think as a member of parliament, one particular clause has been missed out, and you are not able to verify that. Finally, when it is in the third reading stage, you came to know that particular clause may be draconian to the national interest, may be against to the national interest. In this situation, or else in exceptional situation, the presiding officer, that's what I am saying, neither speaker nor chairman, the presiding officer, because if the procedure is in the Rajya Sabha, it can be considered as chairman. If the procedure is in Lok Sabha, then it can be considered as speaker. So the presiding officer can take a decision, can take a call, even he can accept an amendment, or else he can accept the proposal if it is in the national interest, and the decision of the presiding officer shall be final. It shall not be questioned. So normally in third reading stage, amendments will not be proposed, amendments will not be accepted. It will be only confined to either acceptance or rejection of a particular bill. But in exceptional situations, this provision has been allowed. This provision is there. So this is third reading. So after third reading, after it is accepted in one house, let me give an example to you people. Imagine the bill was introduced in Lok Sabha. It passed through all the three stages, that is three readings. First reading, second reading and third reading. Now this bill will be authenticated as ordinary bill by the presiding officer. Once it is authenticated, it will be transferred to the second house. It will be transferred to the second house. If it is authenticated as a money bill, then Rajya Sabha will not have any powers because it should give approval within 14 days. If it is authenticated or confirmed or certified as an ordinary bill, then the bill will be transferred to Rajya Sabha. Now it will be transferred to Rajya Sabha. Now the point is, what are the options available to Rajya Sabha? What can be done by Rajya Sabha? Option number 1, Rajya Sabha can accept the bill even in Rajya Sabha or else even in second house. It shall pass through all the three stages. First reading, second reading and third reading should be passed through. And in the second house, after passing through the three stages, Rajya Sabha may accept the bill without any amendments. That is well and good. Now, if Rajya Sabha accepts or if the second house accepts without any amendments, the bill will be transferred to President, and finally President will take his action. As you people may be knowing about different type of vetoes available to the President. So this is one option available to the second house. Accept the bill without any amendments. Option number 2. Accept the bill with amendments and then send the bill back to the earlier house. What is the second option available to the second house? Accept the bill with amendments. You make amendments, then you transfer the bill to the earlier house or else the previous house. This is option number 2. Now, the previous house should accept the amendments. If it does not accept the amendments, then it will create a deadlock between them. Let me say later what happens if there is a deadlock. Option number 3. Reject the bill completely. The second house may reject the bill completely, either without amending that or else not giving approval. It's completely rejecting the bill. Once the bill is rejected, the the bill will not be alive. Option number 4, keep the bill pending without taking any action. The second house may keep the bill pending without taking any actions. See, this may be vice versa. Even if the bill is introduced in Rajya Sabha, Lok Sabha will have all these options available to them, and even if the bill is introduced in Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha will have all these options available to them. So what is the first option available to them? Accept the bill without any amendments and then send that to presidential approval. Option number 2, accept the bill with amendments and send the bill back to the previous house. Option number 3, keep the bill without taking any action. Option number 4, reject the bill completely. In last 3 situations, when it is amended and sent back, and imagine the previous house, the first house is not accepting the amendments, then it will lead to what? It will lead to deadlock between both the houses. The third thing is, if the bill is completely rejected by the second house, then once again it has created a deadlock. And the fourth option is, they are keeping the bill pending without taking any action, and once again there is a deadlock between both the houses. In the last three situations, the president has an option of calling for a joint session under Article 108. And let me give one more clarification here. It's not discretionary power of the president. The president shall act according to the aid and advice of the Council of Ministers. He shall act according to the aid and advice of the Council of Ministers. Imagine, in such situation, in the first situation, the bill was sent to the transfer to the president, and then president gave his approval, it became an act. In the last 3 situations, imagine the president has called for joint session, what will happen? So while explaining this legislative procedure, let me explain to you people about joint session also.